everyone, this is Neha Sisodia, Assistant Professor at New LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today we are going to discuss query processing and optimization in DBMS. So query processing and optimization is part of our 5th unit, and we are going to discuss what query processing is and evaluation of relational algebra expressions. So what this query processing is? The activity that involves parsing of a query, validating the query, execution and optimizing a query is called as query processing. So let's see what are the basic steps of query processing. So the first one is parsing and translating the query. So what we do is, initially when we pass on a query, it will passing through the parser and translator, which will create a relational algebra expression and will pass on this to the optimizer and pass it on to the optimizer, which will execute a plan and it will give it to the evaluation engine to give the output of the query. So whatever statistics we have about the data, we are going to give it to the optimizer in order to optimize the relational algebra expression which is passed by the parser and translator. So the basic step of query processing will have parsing and translation, and after that we are going to optimize the query, and at the last we are going to evaluate the query. So what this parsing and translation will do, so it will actually translate the query in some internal form, and this then be translated into the relational algebra ultimately. So parser is going to check the syntax and also verifies the relationships. In evaluation portion, what we do is the query execution engine takes a query evaluation plan and execute the plan, and ultimately it returns the result to the query. Now what the basic steps in query processing as an optimization step we do. So a relational algebra expression may have many equivalent expressions. So for an example, if I want to have the balance of some accounts which is less than 2500, so if I have to project it as a balance, entirely the column has to become as a query result for projecting this balance, and then I have to filter out the balance which are less than 2500. So I can also write this equivalent query as, we can filter out all the tuples which are having balance less than 2500 and will take out the balances afterwards. So each relational algebra operation can be evaluated using one of the several different algorithms. So the annotated expression specifies the detailed evaluation strategy that has to be taken place in order to execute the query, and this strategy is called as evaluation plan. So for an example, can we use an index on the balance to find out the accounts with balance less than 2500, or can we perform a complete relation scan and discard the accounts which are greater than or equal to 2500. So what this query optimization is, so amongst all the equivalent evaluation plans, we choose the one with the lowest cost. So the cost is estimated using some statistical information from the database catalog itself. For example, the number of tuples in each relation, what is the size of the tuple, etc. So in this, we need to know how to measure the query cost, algorithm for evaluating relational algebra operations, and how to combine the algorithms for individual operation in order to evaluate the complete expression. In optimization, we study how to optimize the query, that is, how to find the evaluation plan with the lowest estimated cost. So what is the measure of the query cost? The cost is generally measured in terms of total elapsed time for answering a particular query. There are many factors that contribute to the time which required for a query to execute. So many of the factors includes disk access, CPU, or even the network communication as well. So typically, disk access is a predominating cost and is also relatively easy to estimate. So it is measured by taking into account the number of seeks that are required and the average seek cost, number of blocks that has to be read and the number of block read cost, and the number of blocks written into the average block write cost. So the cost to write a block is actually greater than the cost to read a block. So the data is read back after being written to ensure that the write was successful. Now the evaluation of the expression, what we do is, we have seen the algorithm for individual operations, that is, we have few alternatives for evaluating the entire expression tree. So what we can do is, we will have two alternatives, that is materialization and the second one is pipelining. So we can generate a result of an expression whose inputs are relation and are already been computed. So they are all already materialized or stored on disk. And in pipeline, what we do is, we pass on the tuples to the parent operation even as an operation is being executed. So in materialization, we evaluate one operation at a time and start at the lowest cost that we feel like is. So we use an intermediate result and materialize into a temporary relation to evaluate the next operation being performed. So as you can see in this figure, if we want to evaluate the balance which is less than 2500 from the account relation, what we can do is, we can take out the account and we can filter out the tuples with the balance less than 2500, and then we can join this to the customer and ultimately we can find out the customer name who is having balance less than 2500. In materialized evaluation, it is always applicable and the cost of writing the result to the disk and reading them back is quite high. So our cost formula for operation ignoring the cost of the writing results to the disk is the overall cost, which is a combination and addition of summation of the cost of individual operation along with the cost of writing intermediate results to the disk. Now we can use double buffer. We can use two output buffers for each operation. When one is full, write it to the disk while the other is getting filled. So it allows the overlap of the disk writes with computation and reduces also the execution time. Now we'll see what this pipelining is. So pipelined evaluation actually evaluates several operations simultaneously and passing the results of one operation to the next one. So in previous expression, as we have seen the expression tree, we don't store the result of the filtered tuples from account. Instead, what we do is, the pass tuples directly to the join. So similarly, we don't store the result of the join at some temporary relation. So it is much cheaper than materialization and we need not to store any temporary relation to the disk, and also we are not writing anything to the disk. So pipeline may not always be possible in some cases, like if we want to sort or hash join some relation. In that case, we will not be able to do this in evaluation. So for pipeline to be effective, what we can do is, we use an evaluation algorithm that generates output of the tuple even as the tuples as we received for the input to the operation. So we have two ways of executing this pipeline. First one is demand driven and the second one is producer driven. So in demand driven, or it is also called as lazy evaluation, the system repeatedly requests the next tuple from the top level of the operation, and each operation requests the next tuple from the children operation as and when required in order to output its next tuple. So in between calls, the operation has to maintain the state. It is known to what we have to return next. Now each operation in the implemented as an iterator to the operation. So if we want to open it, for example, we have to scan a file. So it will initialize a file scan, store the pointer to the beginning of the file as a state. For another example, if we go for a merge join, it sorts the relation and stores the pointer of the beginning of the sorted relations as its states. If we want to go for the next, for file scan, it will output the next tuple and advance and store the file pointer. Similarly, for the merge join, it continues with the merge from the earlier state till the next output tuple is found. And it also saves the pointers as iterator state. And you can close it out. Next is produce driven, or it is also called as eager pipelining. Operators actually produces tuples eagerly and passes them to their parents. So buffer maintained between the operator and child puts the tuple in the buffer, and the parents remove the tuple from the buffer. So if the buffer is full, the children waits till there is a space in the buffer and then generates more tuple. So system schedules the operation that have space in output buffer and can process more input tuples. This is the overall query processing and optimization and DBMS as we use. We pass on the query in the high level language. The parser and the translator is going to check for syntaxes and will convert it into some intermediate internal representation of the query, and then it will pass it on to the query optimizer that will give an effective form of the query to select an execution plan. As in when we are going to execute a plan, it actually depends upon the information we have, the statistical information basically that we have about the database catalog. As in when we choose a execution plan, we will go to the query evaluation engine and ultimately the result of the query will be out. In the next subsequent video, we are going to discuss more on query processing. Thanks for watching this video.